Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
Definitely way too slow. Vegito-san! So our story continues after the shocking entrance and end of last chapter, with the Omni Vegito, who had been training countless decades and years with his elder god Castiel by now, immediately challenging and immediately blasting Ultra Vegito into the next dimension, as he would be left with us all to see his still smoking hand, and behind him a stunned angel. What speed! What power! Even with these eyes and Lady Cronoa's energy, I couldn't keep up! Who is this? As the angel would continue his level of shock, his eyes unblinking, looking at the destruction in front of him. Oh my! Did I select the wrong Vegito by chance? How interesting. Perhaps he will be... As following on Cronoa's brief expression, we would be greeted by a view now of what's in front of the Omni-Devil. A thick cloud of smoke with no figure seemingly left. That is until the unkillable force, the warrior known as Ultra Vegito, would reveal himself once more, still alive but completely enraged. His arms crossed over each other in the nick of time to protect himself, but not without damage, as his whole body would be trembling in pain while covered in an uncountable number of bruises and burns, before he would then say, "You sneaky punk! That was some power. I don't even know how strong that was, but all I know is I managed to defend. Had I not, who knows what would have happened? I'd probably have wasted a time ring." But as he would first speak relatively calmly, when he would look down, You couldn't have! Suddenly, an overflowing of pure shock to the system would come when the God Killer's eyes would drift down and see... No! How did you... In an unbelievably gruesome scene, the God Killer Vegito would find out he had defended almost nothing, with his entire bottom half blown away like it had been ripped away forcefully, with blood, guts, and entrails hanging loosely from his stomach, dripping down to the floor as Vegito would stare completely shell-shocked, and as we would soon learn, for good reason too. I blocked it though. He was that strong. as with his speech slurring and slowing down, suddenly his power and life force would drastically drop, sending him back down to base. Until ultimately, he would fall to the ground on his back, his eyes practically lifeless, with gallons of blood leaking outward. Vegito-san! Something's wrong with him! He's not going to make it! As for some reason, we staring at Vegito would have no faith in his ability to heal, instead fearing the worst. Not bad, twin. But Omni Vegito, on the other hand, would just be giggling away, enjoying the result of his own actions, but hurrying the God Killer, saying, I expected more of you to be destroyed than that. Glad to see you can at least defend yourself against me, somewhat. But quit the acting now. Regenerate with those boo abilities of yours before you bleed out. But struggling away on the ground, his eyes barely open, it would be clear something was wrong, as Ultra Vegito would mutter out, What's happening? Why won't my body go back to normal? The time rings. Not even they're doing anything. Oh, sorry. I should have mentioned. Godly items and demonic magic from the mortal realm has no effect here in the Elder God realm. Only items and magic which is from here will work. So, that means no time rings and no demonic margin regeneration. What? I've lost both my legs! No way! I really didn't mean that! Holy crap! As with that shock reveal, not only would our Vegito be left stunned at the life-changing reveal he may be stuck like this, or even worse, die here after everything, but Omni Vegito himself would comedically be left in the most awkward of situations, training all this time to battle with Vegito one day, only to cripple him by accident seconds after meeting him. And with an embarrassed smile, he'd then place one hand behind his back and say, Oops, guess that's the end of the Ultra Vegito series then. Don't worry, I think Omni Vegito sounded better for future episodes anyway. Yeah, I don't think the fans would agree with that one, to be honest. As even Cronoa would have her say in the most unexpected situation. Worry not, Mama Cronoa can make anything better. But not for long, as in the very next panel, with her eyes glowing red, she would suddenly lift up her arm and give off a single finger pointed to the sky before we would suddenly see Ultra Vegito's eyes burst open, his injuries all gone, but curiously, something especially youthful would be seen about his appearance. What the hell? Lady Cronoa! As in a completely unbelievable scene, what would be on the ground now would be a healed Vegito, but a toddler one at that, screaming away with tears in his eyes, much to the disbelief of Omni Vegito and the dismay of Whis, who can do hardly much more than hum along in disapproval. Silly me! I was trying to turn back time on his injuries, but seems I went back a little too far. Don't worry, I'll get it right this time. I'm back! As in more time magic, the kind fit only for an elder god, Vegito would now truly be back, at full health and in his adult body now. Completely bamboozled by his sudden de-aging and aging, as he would lay on the floor next to the Omni-Devil, more confused than he'd ever been before. You're back! I knew you'd pull through. Here, take my hand, friend. What? But nonchalantly, like he had not just almost murdered the God Killer, Omni Vegito would simply lend out his arm, while the other would rest behind his head. You want to help, do you? I'll show you just how you can! But unfortunately, for this too cool, calm and collected Omni King, the Vegito we knew would not be so forgiving nor forgetful, as even in base, instantly back to a look of pure rage, his eyes would bloodshot and his teeth would grind together. Guess you don't need a hand after all. Why the angry look, twin? As unclear whether Omni Vegito was trying to aggravate the God Killer or not, he would act completely oblivious to Vegito's obvious rage. And in a flash, as soon as Ultra Vegito would get up, he would immediately power up to his strongest form, eyes blood red once again and his hair two-toned, as he would immediately launch himself double-fisted straight at the Omni King, who would just smile and seemingly not react at all. Ouch! As the God Killer would then surprisingly make contact, both sets of knuckles slamming into Omni Vegito's chest, beginning to push him back. But when we would see the Omni-Devil's expression, with his eyes on show, he would just be smiling, letting out, "Are you trying to show me you're strong even if a little slow? Good, but I hope you have more than this." Why won't he move? And those words would seemingly hold weight, as in the next panel, Omni Vegito would not be budging much at all, his body remaining standstill. I'm far from done! But not moving or not, it would only push Vegito to go harder, spit drooling out of his mouth as he would denature back to a primal animal. Oh, you want me to move? Here, I can help with that. But in pure disrespect, the Omni Vegito would simply fall down, his back nearly reaching the floor, simultaneously slipping both the God Killer's fists. But it would be where the Omni King's feet would be that would cause new problems. As quickly blasting his 2 feet now upwards, the Omni-Devil Saiyan would reciprocate his own attack straight into the God Killer's gut, winding the second fused warrior immediately, as the saliva coming out of his mouth would, like a magic trick, morph into blood being spat out. Sent far up, almost right into the roof until... Finally, Vegito would flip and regain himself in the air. That stupid smile! Where is all my power? There's no way I could be outclassed like this! The result being, however, total fury in Vegito's face. But quite rightly, Omni Vegito, with his arms folded, would just calmly respond, "What stupid smile? It's the same one you have, clown. This is the big leagues now. You may have been the strongest in your multiverse, but now you learn what power gods really have." Gods! I don't care what you say! I'll kill you all and get out of here! As refusing to accept reality, a violent red and white lightning never seen before would start spontaneously combusting all around Vegito, as he would eventually power up with his aura being this same thunderous energy until... Come here! With a demonic voice, he would disregard any gap in skill or power between the two and rush in with a Zenkai boosted power up in speed, as his entire face would morph up from his thrust alone. But it would seem, even in this state of anger, the God Killer would add some trickery, vanishing before the Omni Devil. Nice try, but you have no idea how far my eyes can see, mortal. Unfortunately though for our hero, even when he would reappear point blank with perfect and just the slightest of sidesteps, the God Killer would be made to miss completely like a raging bull. There, boy. I've seen enough. Slow and weak. Got it. Get your hand off me! And to add even more insult to injury, when Vegito would land, the Omni Devil would be seen with his back turned, patting the God Killer on his head like a small child or his pet dog. Nope. And even when Vegito would violently swipe his arm backwards to make him stop, he would narrowly miss his chin, as the Omni Vegito would just move back like on a conveyor belt. The next move of the Saiyan being to fly in with both his arms and legs cocked back. But try as he might, launching attack after attack, Omni Vegito would dodge absolutely everything with ease, leaving after images that in unison would comment, "Close one, a little too slow. Pick up the pace, kid." And in Broly style, finally quitting like a true beast. Opening his mouth wide, Vegito would summon in his mouth a concentrated ball of demonic dark energy and... blast out one of the most impressive mouth beams ever. But completely miss, as Omni Vegito would stand to the side of him, inspecting, like he were his sensei or something. Boom! Got you! What? And it would seem our Vegito would be completely unaware, as when the Omni King would move behind and point a finger to his head in the shape of a gun, the God Killer would do nothing but turn around in disbelief. And the one-sided chase would just continue on, but under the watchful gaze, of course, of Whis, Hit, and their master Elder God. As thoroughly impressed, Cronoa would mention, "What a most unexpected development. Seems one of the others has found a most interesting fighter for the tournament. Whose Vegito will be stronger though? Hera may be weak, but that shouldn't mean his creations are." But things would come to an abrupt end, when finally it would seem Omni Vegito would fight back, if only with a single leg kick and his arms folded, as the God Killer would be sent crashing to the ground.
Damn you! Damn this whole place!
As completely beaten and frustrated to all hell, Ultra Vegito could do nothing but grumble, staring at the cold ground. But Omni Vegito back in the air would now seem to be done with this whole situation, looking down and saying,
"Enough! Looking at you any longer will probably lower my own self-esteem. I've seen enough of your weakness. Good luck getting stronger in time for our next meeting. But I don't have high hopes."
And with that, just as he suddenly first arrived, he would now vanish from the realm, leaving his victim on the ground.
I lost so easily! To him, to Whis! That damn woman even made me a baby!
And it would be at this point the realization of his impossible situation would begin hitting him, as he would look to the ground now and with intense frustration continue,
"Seriously? What am I expected to do here? What can I do? If I fight now, I'll die! All this power, what was it for? What is my next step? Tell me!"
As losing his mind now, Vegito would actually scream out for answers from a god herself. The same beings he vowed to eradicate was his only option now for advice and direction on just what his next move should be.
"You're not going to let me out of here. You brought me here for a reason. I accept I can't kill you. So if you're going to kill me, just get it over with. I'm tired of this all. I'm tired of being used. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this revenge."
You poor fool, Vegito. But in response to Vegito's outcries, callously, the glowing red-eyed elder god would simply enjoy his anguish and respond bluntly, "Unfortunately for you, you will continue to do all those things. You will continue to be used, continue your revenge, and you will continue to fight. Just this time, directly for me."
For you?
As on this reveal, an olive branch invitation to the God Killer by an elder god of all people, Vegito would be left perplexed. But it would be at this point, Elder God Cronoa would finally explain to the Saiyan, "Not long from now, a tournament of the highest order will be held. A tournament among elder gods, where only our creations may battle, with some exceptions such as you, who has become mine through force. Each combatant will be trained strenuously to reach all new levels of power, not only to provide us a battle worth watching but a showcase of the powers and experience of us elder gods individually. Death battles, where not only will warriors like that man you just fought will appear, but the one you call Lucif too. This, if anything, will be your final redemption, your final revenge. And I say that not because you will have your chance to settle things with Lucif, but because the winning fighter of this tournament will become the new leader of the Elder Gods themselves. With that power, you could order us to behave in any way, or even order our deaths. But it would appear the second Cronoa would finish explaining this, Hit would sense some inaccuracies and inconsistencies, but would remain quiet nonetheless, thinking only to himself, the winning fight will become the new leader of the Elder Gods? Ridiculous. She knows it's the Elder God in charge of that winning fighter that will receive that reward. Surely, she doesn't think Vegito will fall for this. And for a minute, there would be a brief silence in the room, with Vegito taking in carefully these words before... A laughter would be heard beginning, as a grin would return to the God Killer finally once more.
Is that it then? I see clearly. Things aren't over for me at all then.
As with a raucous power-up caused by his excitement alone, a devilish side to Vegito would reveal itself within the devil. His Saiyan blood boiling with bloodlust as he suddenly is given not only a ticket home, a way to finish what he started with Lucif, but as far as he's concerned, a way to end all gods once and for all also.
Fantastic! Bravo! So train me up, just so I can kill you? Genius plan. Don't think for a second. I don't know, there must be something in this for you. But as long as I can become stronger, that's all I'll need. To defeat Lucif. To defeat that damn clone. And
Defeat me? You're still harping on about that. I would have thought you learned well enough. You and I cannot be compared, young man.
Maybe not now, but we'll see how things change when I win this thing. Just remember my words.
Oh yes, win it all. That's the spirit. As in response, all Cronoa would do was giggle out a sinister laughter, humoring Vegito's words, while inside her mind she would just be thinking, yes, win me this tournament and secure my place as the leader of the Elder Gods. My plan could not go any more smoothly. Prime Zeus, he's here. But as things would be all smiles and laughter in one place, elsewhere, a far more solemn and fearful scene would be taking place, as coming for the head of the Archangel Akobel would be none other than his father Zeus, arriving with a seismic aura as every other god stands back in caution, but not in his normal form, but a legendary Prime Zeus incarnation. Well, here goes. But despite the presence, Akobel in his usual confident stride, surrounded by his own Saiyan electricity, would begin walking forward, his brother Castiel more nervous than he, just muttering out, "May Father have mercy on you, brother." And finally, their feet would meet, toe to toe with one another. "Father, Akobel, my son." And in a cold scene, their difference in height and build would be clear to see, though clearly father and son. But Zeus's overwhelming presence would appear to even bring a sweat drop to Akobel too, as the two would stare unflinchingly, with their thunder and lightning etching the skies and floors beneath them. But finally, Akobel would soon speak in a hushed tone. "Lord Zeus, thank you for coming. I can explain."
Power down when you talk to me, boy!
As unforeseeably, the instant Akobel would begin talking politely, like a bat out of hell, the father would punish his son with a thunderous clap to end all fatherly slaps. Akobel's face positively shuddered, as even moments later, it would still not stop vibrating. And on command of his father, all Saiyan electricity would then dissipate from the Archangel, as he would cautiously and fearfully turn his head back, now with a big bruise on his cheek, and say, "My apologies, father. It is true what you have seen. I entered Hera's universe without permission, and I interfered. But it was not for the reasons you believe. I was not trying to alter the natural events of the mortal realm, but rather alter the future of the elder gods. I went to get my own son, a newly ascended elder god, and bring him where he belonged." But Zeus would be cold and quick in his reply, saying,
Nice story. And how did this son of yours become an elder god? Through pure coincidence? But more importantly, how will this boy you brought have any effect on the future of us elder gods? Perhaps you believe he will take your place after you die here.
As on that freezing response, Akobel truly would have nothing to say, just looking down in defeat, knowing the truth behind those words, once uttered by Zeus himself. Perhaps we can help answer that question, my lord. As suddenly, before Zeus would make his most likely extremely violent reply, like the Avengers assembling, beside Akobel, Castiel, Poseidon, Hera, and Hades would appear with speed, coming to his rescue and to explain more. And so time would pass, quite a long time, as the gods would all talk, rather peacefully it should be noted, as the eloquent Castiel would explain all about the Elder Gods' agreement and their plan to put forward a tournament that would decide unanimously who should take over Zeus's throne.
So this is why you all gathered here.
And after this long conversation, Prime Zeus would notably no longer be covered in electricity, sitting down as he would continue.
This is what you all came to agree on. Do you know how long I have waited to see a moment like this? For the first time, you have all come together without my orders. A unity among gods. And it was for this idea, a tournament of creations, to decide the next leader. I cannot fault the logic. The most suitable god here will more than likely have the most powerful creations and be able to bring out their latent potentials with their respective training. Ares is not here, but even he knows I have been waiting for a successor.
And it would be at this point, Zeus would turn specifically to Akobel and say,
You, Akobel, were so close, but it seems my instinct that your maturity had not come yet was right as expected. What a terrible mistake you have made, but a tournament like this could be your redemption. I have no interest in a subpar god replacing me. It should be the best here.
As in a relief to everyone, Zeus would suddenly return to his base state, his elderly state, his eyes closed and calm, adding,
I will approve of this idea, only for the good mood your unity has brought me. But I will be entering my own creations. As if none of you can surpass me in that regard, then none of you were ever worthy. The mark of a good god is not in his power, but the quality of his creations and what he has overseen the progress and evolution of. But know this, for you, Akobel and Cronoa, who still has avoided my sight, who both broke the rules of the elder gods. If, by any chance, either of you are not the winner of this tournament, you will be destroyed as punishment. This competition will not only be a fight to become leader of the elder gods, but a fight for your very lives, an entire multiverse themselves. What?
Win, my slave.
Oh, I'll win and bring this whole place down.
As with that final bombshell laid out and the stakes set, Akobel and Lucif would be left in a state of shock as an oblivious Cronoa and Vegito would ready themselves for the tournament of the millennia. Elder God versus Elder God, multiverse versus multiverse. Vegito's greatest and final challenge had now come.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag tournament in the comments down below and tell me just who or what will be joining Vegito. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.